Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and good morning. How you doing there, chickens? I think we need to talk about that in intervention. I don't think there's a time that you're never not here, and that is truly what it is. But, endearing, so we'll go with that one, eh? Okay, so... he named it Synchronicity. And it's funny, actually, because it reminded me of the Baki anime, which is like... it's pretty... it's a lot. It's an interesting anime. I'll put it that way. I always do like the like martial arts ones, so I don't know, got a soft spot for those. Okay, so in terms of today, what to expect? Not particularly much, again. We will be gonna head... well, we do have sellers now deployed at Endeni. We do obviously still have Zeros at Endeni. We noticed also there's a ship heading in the direction of Tarawa, so what we went ahead and did is transferred 12 Nicks out to Tarawa. It's a squadron of about 12 max. 11 of them are operational today. One of them obviously was damaged enough to require some maintenance. They do have about fairly odd fatigue though, so obviously it's not ideal. See the California. Oh, there we go. Nice, Californian. I was kind of hoping that we'd be able to do this, actually. It's why, yeah, I just didn't... oh, hit but no explosion. I mean, you're literally there. If there's no resistance, fire another one or fire the damn deck gun. But I'll take it anyway. Don't see any troops there, so she's probably already unloaded. But getting in there, causing damage to ships is a good thing. Right, we are actually getting a good picture of what's going on here. So we see that this task force is moving out. So you see destroyed escort Kane. Okay, so that's probably why she didn't go ahead and use that deck gun. But this submarine will be moving up to this hex, actually. Yeah, heavy damage will be fine. I mean, she's obviously got a torpedo now. That's good. Yeah, so going back to the Tarawa Nicks, they're set to naval attack. It's unlikely that they'd fly. The idea being, if he is sending out some sort of picket, or if he's sending out some sort of, like, small raiding force. Hello! Yes! Go, I-158! You go, girl! You go! Hell yeah. All is forgiven. All is forgiven. Nice. Nice, very nice. Okay, we were previously only aware of one. Ah, very good, very good. Looks like she may have just arrived there. Nice, so 2 shell hits, 2 torpedoes, and those are 12 centimeter shells. Oh, nice, very good. Very good indeed. Yeah, there he is shooting. Shooting from the hip. Yeah, so there we go, see 2 guns there and vehicles. Now, vehicles is very good, very nice. Now, I'd wager that's probably... could be like an engineer unit, could even be AA, but I'd imagine probably engineers. But that's very good. So they may have in fact just arrived, because we only just saw... and she goes down, excellent news. We only saw 1 ship there the previous day, so that's really good. Really happy about that. He does have a destroyer escort there, but obviously it's not done a good enough job there. But I mean, this is it, yeah. We are moving more submarines down towards Tulagi that have been repaired. Obviously, more will be repaired in the days to come. And I think that's what we'll probably do, really, is like force him to have escorts all over the area and try and divide his efforts. Obviously, we'll be patrolling the deep waters, too. Oh, oh, come on, please. Yes! Yes! Oh, I-158, you are on fire today. So's a Kansan. Oh, excellent. Excellent. Oh, she's doing great. Oh, excellent. Apparently 3 torpedoes. Was that a third one that hit? I think I saw 2. I don't know about a third, but hell yes. Oh, she goes down as well. Oh. Oh. Magnifico. Subarashi. Yeah, quite one today. Just not for the I-158. That's good, though. Interesting to see the task force there moving in towards Burma. Quite close, actually. Potentially able to be struck at. Well, it should be within range of strike, then, so that'd be intriguing. But yeah, we do get a good idea of what's AFA. But that's good timing, actually, that we were there today. It looks like we were there, and we hit the ship that was already there, and then it looks like the other 2 had arrived during the night, perhaps? Something of that nature. There we There's more bombers being moved up towards Kueyang. There's a group of bombers over here in Nanning that'll be transferred to Kueyang this turn. Using the lighter bombers for hitting the airfield. It's a good mix, really. Have them hit the airfield, have the sallies hit the troops, really. Right, we're not long now until we do have the fall of Moresby. Okay. Yeah, that's interesting there to the north. They should. I think we're running about 11 hex or so of range there. Not too sure. Yeah, we do gain some really good information there around invade. That's really good. You can see the, right, there we are, seeing another tanker out that way. Oh, it'd be great if we could get that. So I assume they've spotted the BBs once again. With the main body message there. I believe that comes about when they spot capital ships. Unlikely would go to... Well, I don't know. Eventually we'll go for something in Darwin, but it'll be a bypassed agreement. It depends, really. We'll have Thai forces moved into China to free up Japanese forces in the future, and then after that, then we'll have more freedom. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this is it. Another regiment probably may have arrived, or they'll be close to arriving. So yeah, all in all, a pretty good day then, actually. Let's go for the longest bombardment. Troops should probably be around about this point now. Tanks will probably be maybe here or about halfway. We'll have the tanks take the base first, and then we'll do these troops over here then. Or try and do it at the same time, either or. I think the hexes there are both ×3 with the mountains, so it's not easy either way. But no, I'm quite happy with the performance of our submarine there today. And we do pick up on another tanker near Perth, so that'd be excellent. If we can try and get in and actually hit another tanker, that'd be very good. Feels nice. I think I was previously tracking the 17th Corvette, which is almost at the bottom now. Guess I'd plenty of troops to return. But again, yeah. It's good to see that they don't seem to return with their equipment, and it doesn't seem like they'll get their equipment as well. So they do have a broad AV, but they don't really have anything in terms of heavier firepower. I can imagine that these videos will become considerably shorter once once we actually finally conquer Chungking. I mean, the first attack at Chungking will be coming in the next, I'd say probably two weeks or so, something of that nature. Just need to get everything in place at Chungking. The armor, that is. But obviously having the additional artillery in would be quite good too. Even the additional divisions, as they can contribute with their artillery as well. There's just so many units. So many. Yeah, okay. So, a gun lost on our side, probably a mortar, disabled there. One vehicle there, which is probably a truck. 351 there. We do seem to be having consistent numbers there. It's a lot of effort to destroy a couple, but at the end of the day, it's the damage it does to units in general. Okay. Shanghai there to 7. Shortlands there, 3. Yeah. Okay. I didn't know, Yakov. I love that. Yeah, Lunga there to size 2 port, which is very nice there. It does make Lunga infinitely easier to load and unload on. And speaking of, I mean, we haven't had any contention over Endeni, which is completely unexpected, really. I was talking to Infinite Monkey, otherwise known as the Gary. We talk over most turns, and it's always good just to be able to have something to talk about the turn with, because you get an idea of potential things you may miss. But anyway, we were talking essentially over like how surprising it is that Endeni hadn't been interfered with, which is something that we don't often get the benefit of. So it's like, damn, I'm quite happy about that. Now, Gary has made me aware that he will require this turn for some time longer. So there's a lot to be done here today. There's a lot of things that really begin. In terms of aircraft, I think carriers may potentially go in for upgrades today. A lot of different things that need to be done today, he tells me. The month is always, well, start of the month is always quite busy, essentially. Okay. Go ahead and reopen that. But now a good day, a good start to the month there. Good start to the month. I mean, we torpedoed 1 AK. Yeah, again, the Shokaku Zubikaku radar, yeah. How you doing there, Parmentier? How you doing, my friend? Yeah. So, we'll take a look then. Now, apparently it lists a swordfish. I would be really... I'd be happy if I was true, but I'd be quite surprised if it was. Submarines are really quite difficult to knock out. We know that we sank Hansen and the Ernest Meyer, so that's very good. Meyer. Yeah. 3,200. As I said, he'll have a decent number of AKs. It's not going to be a... Oh, Hog Island class is actually one of the larger ones as well, actually. They're quite nice. And I think the Hog Island class is one that can be converted into a AE. I don't think they can be made into AKEs, but I think they can become AEs like actual ammunition tenders. So that's a good one to take out there. Yeah, the Kates are bombing around longer. I mean, the 250s. I suppose this is it. I suppose I'm just... I don't know. It's hard to believe it unless you see it, in a way. And I didn't hear the sound effects of a submarine sinking. I don't know if they always play, but generally they play. But So I do see quite a few ships around here. Yes. And he's actually reduced the amount of ships he has over here pretty significantly. That's interesting, though. That's very interesting. So that's a large surface force there. Apparently. Yeah, probably her. Now, he could be coming in to bombard Endeni, which wouldn't be too surprising. The good thing is we do have a large number of actual submarines over here. They'll not stop it, but they could put some hurt there. Now, the question comes down to, like, where will they go? So we see apparently, well, our detection over here has dropped due to detection dropping. Apparently there's an increase in the amount of fighters here, which I wouldn't be too surprised. An increase in the amount of aircraft in general. But that's interesting stuff. Yeah, that's intriguing. I mean, his target would have to be Endeni, but it wouldn't stop it. It'd delay it, but it wouldn't stop it. I've no idea. I've absolutely no idea whether it'd work on Linux. I do not know a bloody thing about Linux, so maybe, yes, possibly. Yeah. I wish I could tell you more. Okay. So in terms of what we have over here, then, they've unloaded all their troops, which is really good. That's very good. So they could leave today if desired. And we may have them leave today just so they don't potentially get caught up in anything. It'd have been nice to have had another 839 supply there, but in all honesty, we've had it really quite easy. What range are we looking at here? So we're flying about 11 or so in our own strike range. And Denny is quite easily within that range. It's an interesting one, really. Okay. And of course, you could target Kira. That could always be a target. Who knows? But then, that's interesting then. I do wonder where that's actually approached from. Maybe from the south, maybe from this direction. Unknown. But we've had it go well over here then. How have you done I-158? Yeah, she's almost expended all of her torpedoes there. Very good. That's really well done. And she took no damage, which is really good. Yes. Yeah, so in terms of actual things we can actively do here, the midget subs obviously remain in place. We may potentially leave the destroyers there. We do have a couple of submarines over there as well, which helps. There's, of course, about 150 or so mines, but if it's coming in for a bombardment, you can avoid that for most parts. It's an interesting one, really. I'd love to say that destroyers could put some torpedoes in there if they did come, but that's assuming that they do come. Interesting, though. It is intriguing, though, so we would have previously expected carriers, but we're not seeing that. How you doing there, Wesley? Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, I said it definitely put 2 down and damaged the first one. But yeah, obviously hitting that one as it's placing down equipment's very good. I can see that, yeah, we have good reconnaissance, or decent reconnaissance over here now. So he's building this islander, as we can see. Yeah, 10 auxiliaries over here as well. Yeah, he's really committed to this area, which does make me think that he's not finished with the carriers in this area. Yeah, here we go. Here we have a Nix over this way. We had them set to naval attack if something did come in this way, so we did see a ship out here. Looks like it didn't come closer. I mean, this is already cut off. I mean, eventually we'll probably take Horn Island, but it's already gone anyway. I mean, we have air power around here, we have air power around here, and there's not exactly anything moving through here. I mean, we don't even move through here. It's a bit of a no man's land in a way, really. Does that blue mean French soldiers? They could be New Zealanders. I forget the colours. I think New Zealanders are blue? Or they could be French. Honestly, I've not played the Allies enough to actually know the colour of every nationality. But they could be Australian or New Zealander, maybe even French. Somebody will probably know, actually. Not all that often see them, really. Well, those are Australians, so they're not Australians. And, oh yeah, excellent, there we go. Yeah, so the 56th Division has arrived here now. I think it's because, yeah, there we are. So we do have now the 56th Division. Let's take a look at their state. They're complaining about supply here. So, we may... well, a battle midway in this situation favours us in the fact that, well, we're working from land bases. I'm quite happy about that. Okay. Yeah. So I think what we'll likely go ahead and do then is probably give it a... I think give it a day or two, let them actually pick up that supply there. It says they require... If I was to separate them... That's interesting, actually. Maybe we're not getting the true picture there. As the individual regiments, they require 376, 345. As a division, it's 23, 26 there. That's interesting. I mean, we could potentially go for an attack, but we'll see. It wouldn't really hurt to delay that, give them that time to build that supply up. But the important thing is the division has arrived. The end of Moresby is at hand, essentially. And it's a large division, 497. It's almost... yeah, it's actually... I think it might be one of the largest divisions we have, because it's actually quite heavily overbuilt by that 2% there. I say heavily, but it is, it is large. In terms of raw AV, there's not many of that size. Which gives us a raw of 654, which is quite nice. No, not really. I'm not too... as mentioned, we'll probably go for Darwin in the near future, to some extent. Looks like it's probably doing that, just make sure we can't drop in there paratroopers easily. At some point in the future, we'll go for something out here. Maybe do something over here in the far north, but nothing really large, nothing really serious, to be honest. Okay. Let's take a look at our forces then. Now we are flying over the air flotilla here. Yes, a good amount of bats arrived. It's an interesting one, really. A little inconvenient that these guys have arrived. But I do have to wonder, where may have they come from? Where might they have come from, I should say? They could have come from down here. They could have come from this direction. I'm not too sure, but they seem to have arrived in the area. But it's hard to say, really. Thunderstorms in the area doesn't help us out. What's the forecast here? Okay. Yeah, we'll decide to power that one. Ultimately, we still have supply over here. It could be bombarded, but then he does run the risk of actually being hit by aircraft if he tallies too long, which he probably won't. He'll probably come in for a... If he was to come in, it'd come in for a full speed. Well, we do have submarine assets to make that at least potentially painful for him, so that's good. Destroyers potentially to tie him up, I don't know. But it did not go well. There's not all that much you can really do to stop it. But we do have the engineers there to actually make the island operational again afterwards. Speaking of... yes, there's 151 engineers there. The island has level 2 fortifications, it's jungles, it's only ×2, but it should be a little bit more resistant to bombardment, one would imagine, due to that terrain and possibly fortification. Right, so we've seen a single tanker there. It doesn't seem to like to send them with escort. We do have 3 subs right in front of him, so we should be able to pick up on that, ideally. Would be nice to put down another one. Okay. Moving the fuel again there, which is good. Yeah. These guys are kind of a bit coy. And the paratroop is down this way. We should have an APD. Yeah. This APD over here is refueled. And they're carrying a 49th JNAF. We'll decide where we'll have that placed. Just increase the amount of APDs that we have in this area again too. I'd like to get some supply to Tarawa. I do have a PP on the way back. But it may potentially send something from this end. We'll see about that. So take a look at the operations report then. Yeah, Catalina near Lunga. There we go. Build Japanese Navy instructors that accelerate train of 115 pilots from month cycle 9. That's good. Right. Have the carriers gone in today? They may not go in immediately. They may go in, let's see. May go in tomorrow? I'm not sure. They'll go in shortly enough anyway. Well, shortly enough. Oh, I must be thinking... Never mind, I'm thinking the wrong month, I think. God damn it. Right. I'd have thought that had been there by now. Was it secondary road? No, I suppose secondary road isn't it? I thought it might have been major, but it's not. So, yeah, they'll be there tomorrow then. I know it would be close. See, this is the issue, I think, Lewis, that gets a lot of Japanese players into trouble. It's like, if you remember from the start of the series, we did try to engage his carriers. We had tried a number of times. The only reason why we haven't had an engagement is because, frankly, I didn't want to give away what advantage we did have or what leveling features we did have and chase a battle that was clearly on his terms. I think the issue is it's like there's this idea that because Japan does have carrier superiority at the start, that they should try to make the most of it, which I agree with, if you can, that's a caveat. But it's like at this time and in this game, we haven't had that opportunity, unfortunately, which does make it difficult for us. So, I'm not eager to go out and engage carriers unless it is on favourable terms. I think essentially his carriers are going to be a threat and a lingering threat, and a threat that is actually stronger than I would have preferred it to be. But it's one of those that it's... While he has them, and he's sitting on his hands regarding them, then they're not a threat. I know it sounds silly, but we consistently build up our air power in the actual land-based airfields. The Kidamatai is part of an active defense rather than going out and hunting other carriers. Yeah. Well, we lost CVLs, but the thing is, it's like, would we have really been able to bring the mini-Kidamatai to bear against them? I'm not so sure. I don't know. I think people get too hung up on the carriers. Like, they're great, but they're great for specific purposes. The good thing about the strategy that we have in this area is the fact that we are going from land bases. I mean, obviously there's ships in this area, but the ships are protected by the land bases, and they protect the land bases. So it makes it difficult for carriers to be used, because obviously he has to come in, and he's well within range of the actual land-based carriers. Sorry, land-based airfields, I should say. So it's one of those. It renders it harder for him. How you doing there, Daniel? We had some good action from a submarine out this way, but other than that, not terribly large amounts of things, really. Just going through the turn. Not going to be too much, really, to do right now. But I think we'll get the APs moving. I think that's something we'll likely do. Have the PBs returned? Are they still here? I think they've left. Where are they? Oh, there they are, yeah. So I think what we'll go ahead and do then is we'll have the APs. I was going to use the PBs there to potentially escort them. I'll take a look at the destroyers we have. I could even send the APs without an escort, and we have then another... There's only been a Kaze. Might be worthwhile to keep her here, but we'll see. We do have... well, these are... Yeah, these are... maybe we'll leave them. These are Matsuki, so they're not worth a lot to us. It's more so if they can actually get those yeah, those bloody torpedoes in there. I could have the APs go around. Might be worthwhile having a 5th destroyer there. We'll see. We'll see what response would be there. Ideally, he'd just... Yeah, ideally he would just sit over here at Lucanville. That'd be great if he could do that. That would be nice. So we've seen ships there in port. We did damage some ships, so they could be those ones. Or it could be like an ACM or something like that. It may have minded. We do have destroyer minesweepers in the area, so that's something that we can deal with. Okay. Now, so we see this unit moving over that way. I mean, even if he wants to move into Gyanko, then Godspeed, son. 23rd Tank Regiment there. Let's take a look. Rough there. There's no road that way. Yeah, so they're going to continue on towards Gyanko there. That's fine. Frankly, even if it moves a block of the roads, we can just sell over tanks out. We still have a road over here. So it just makes it easy for us to get to him, really. And I think he's essentially just trying to get these forces destroyed so they can come back to Chongqing in the future. Because right now they're not doing anything for him. But I'm really glad. Like, once that unit's gone there, then I really don't even have to garrison that. I could just leave like an AA unit just to have something in the base. But that's the most we'll have to do, which is really nice. Alright, so they made 20. They'll probably make 20 tomorrow, then I'll have to go into combat mode. Oh no, actually, put them into combat mode now so I don't forget. Just in case. Okay. So we do have 24th and 26th. 24th could definitely benefit from having the AV recruit there. 15th Tank Regiment moving up as well. Hi. 2nd Tank Regiment here be crossing in the near future, so we'll have them there. That's good. 8th Tank Regiment? Yeah, there we go. I'm quite happy they've made it there. They're in coastal water, so they'll... Well, they're in shallow water, so they'll generally be okay. That's good. Right. They've unloaded the artillery, which is very nice. I will need to go ahead and pick up the divisions out this way. Or division, I should say. Alright, get them in there. This artillery then can begin marching. I'll take a look at that shortly enough. Tell all to go in that way. Get them to prep. Chunking. I hate that it does that. I tried to make less work for myself, but I made more work for myself. The irony of it. Okay, we're good there. Right, so VP at the moment then. So we're at 24,385 versus 7,842 there. Oh yeah, that's cool, Daniel. I'll have to take a look at that. Oh yes, the aircraft loss. Forgot to do that today. Just at Oscar. Probably the lightest losses we've seen throughout the war, actually. Okay. Yeah, these arms can transfer. Move them up to Kwayang. There we are. Yeah, so we're up in the mount there. I do have a group of Dinas over here. I'm gonna have them fly. They've been here about 2 days. They flew obviously on the they arrived on the first day. Obviously they've had a second day of actual rest, and then this will be the third day tomorrow. Then I'll give them that time then to recover there, and then fly them onwards. I'm gonna have them move down towards this area to the south. I do believe we'd definitely benefit from having more reconnaissance. We don't have a huge amount of Dinas, which is a problem. We'll have them replaced by the D4 I want in the near future, but for now we'll have to make do with them. But they weren't doing me any good in China. I've got enough in China for the reconnaissance I need, so they were superfluous, I suppose you could say. Right, okay. Yeah, generally things are going well then. Right, this additional artillery has arrived there. I do wish we had that X-Site and make it so much more convenient, but oh well. Alright, they're making their way there. So shortly enough, we'll have Chungking surrounded then. We own these hex sites, but obviously these ones are a little bit more difficult due to the river there. But that's fine, I could just block off. Okay. Yeah, it's getting there. It's getting there. Third tank regiment moving south. I was waiting for all the armor to arrive. Additional artillery moving there. Now, I've been wondering what it's doing here. AMC. Really? What's the range there? 11. Ah, they were set to 10. That's what I was thinking of. Yeah, these guys are 10 then. That's interesting. Well. I kind of doubt it's an AMC. I would be surprised if it was. Unless he tries to land here at Rumbury Island again. I don't know. He's been kind of flirting with things of this nature. This is the closest he's come. Unless he's trying to use this as a cap trap. I'm not too sure what might have that range. Interesting nonetheless. There we are. So spread the division out here then to cover these spaces. I'm going to have... what we're doing is over here in the Philippines. Right, well, I'm going to have these set up, but these guys are going to be loaded up and taking this division. It's going to take some time to wrap it all up. I'm going to be moving the Philippines division into Burma. He's fishing for training missions, yeah. He's close. He's very close. Ceylon will eventually come. It'll eventually come. What we'll do with Ceylon is, even when we have the H8K Embleys in production, we do have the G3Ms, so the G3M3. And their normal range is 24, I believe. So they could do that. We just need to have a number of them. Oh, 21, sorry. I think I'm thinking of the H8K Embley that has a 24 normal range. So what we'll do then when we do actually have... Yeah, 24. When we have the Embleys in production, then we can go for things of that nature. So we can actually then strike out from Port Blair to Colombo. Actually, no, it's 20... Ah, we could do it from the Landerman, actually. Could do it from the Landerman. So we'll think about that. G3 M3s could do it from the Landerman. I'd have to obviously have torpedo capability there, but we'll see. Yeah, that's nearly level 3 fort. I'd like to actually get some AV there in the future. Yeah, let's load them there. It's up there, okay. Oh, has our damage DD made it down there? Ah, yeah, there we are. That's good news. A lot of major damage. Yeah, and that was caused by grounding at Port Blair. Pain in the ass. So place her into shipyard now. Well, the thing is, we don't even need to win a naval battle. That's the thing. Like, if we get China, then that puts us in a very strong position. So it's not just the bases of China, it's the actual troops of China as well that are worth VP. If you take a look over here in terms of actual, let's see, Allied Army lost points. So he's lost nearly 13,000 points in just troops. I mean, we've lost 648, I mean, and that's with the shenanigans at Waken, etc. So I mean, this is it, it's like, and then even with the ship sunk. I mean, like, he's sunk 2,038 points of Japanese ships. I mean, we've sunk 1,805. So, while he's sunk more of our actual warships and obviously carriers and things of that nature, it's not like he's got out of this unharmed. And obviously, it's like, well, what does it really matter if we're not hitting the larger ships? But again, it's the death by 1,000 cuts. But yeah, the army lost things as well. And you don't lose these points either. These will remain, which is very good for us. So when we do gain China eventually, when we do take Chongqing, also we'll have that swing of 1,600 points for us, but obviously then he has that minus 800, which makes it even larger, 2,400 point swing. But then you imagine there's all these troops over here, and I don't know what it is. I think it's like what was it, like 1 VP per 12 Chinese squads or something like that. There's a shitload of squads there. So he'd probably get a couple hundred points from just taking out the troops there, which all makes it harder for him. So we're not going to win the war by taking China, but it does definitely help us. It does mean it'll be harder for him to win the war, because for one, we have that stockpile of army VP that will not go anywhere. Also, we have the control of China to actually help us out, which means that we can move forces elsewhere. We actually have quite the economic boom there. And yeah, as the levels of VP of like auto victory get closer, he'll have to do things. And if it goes badly, then he may lose. So it's pretty difficult for him. No, I mean, this is it. I think he's purposely allowed us to have China. I think that's been his thing from the outset, so I'm not too sure. So I mean, and then after China, it comes down to what we'll do at that point. I mean, it depends really. Calcutta could be I mean, India could be a potential option. And I'm not a big fan of India, but it could be a potential option. But then so could be the SU. I know the SU would be more fun. It'd definitely be intriguing. But if it comes down to like the raw victory points that can be gained, it's be an interesting one really. Getting into Calcutta would be one thing. Taking it is another. It's urban heavy, so that's going to be Pretty damn difficult to take. Yeah. Lightly more to lean towards the SU. Or even just really garrison the islands and making it difficult for him. Always an option. At least actually you do gain more as well, like we do gain other bases that we can make use of, like additional oil out, very, very nice. It's things that can be done. Things that can be done. Okay. We are fortifying Manchukuo, which is very nice. Nearly a 4 there. These are building up to 4 then, which should be good. We need to get them to at least level 6, I reckon. Get them up really quite high in terms of actual levels of fortification, and then at least we might have something. Experience isn't great. Might as well put them on rest, actually. But then again, I think if they're on rest, they'll not be building their own levels of fortification, so actually, no, that's probably why. They have 12 engineers, yeah, that's why they'll be on that then. The Aleutian Islands would like to go for. The thing that's really stopped us from going for the Aleutian Islands to start, well, so far, it's just not knowing exactly where the cars are per se, and also we need to have the forces there and ready. Like, we could go and take like an island or two, but we also need to be able to move in such a way that we can actually take it and hold it. And it's not easily said as done, really. There's a competition for an aircraft. Obviously, the South has been winning that competition for some time, but we do need to strengthen the Dutch East Indies, and we do need to strengthen other areas. The Kurils also could do with strengthening, and it is at a point now where it's okay. Obviously, I'd like that island to be garrisoned. I'd essentially like every island over here to be garrisoned to make sure there's no easy pickings for him. But in terms of aircraft, obviously it doesn't have a huge amount. Do we have 2 lost over here? Or is it just never up to size 9 from start? I'm not too sure there. Might have been ops officers. Have we actually had ops officers at G3 upgrades? I'd imagine so. No. 1 ops lost and Gene 3 and 3. I'm going to assume that it wasn't up to full strength from the start. Yes. Where do you belong, my friend? Say part of the Tokyo. Right, okay. And where else? And Denny. Ah, yes, okay. Probably how about move down to Tokyo then? How many do we have in Tokyo? Yeah, so 14 KUT 1A. Yeah, these will be guys that will upgrade to HKs when they arrive. That'd be cool. Oh, speaking of this area, you can see that this convoy had previously been picking up resources over here. Still quite a lot of resources over there, which is quite nice. But we picked up about, about 70,000 units of fuel there from Port Arthur. So you can see that was about 500,000, now down to 421. So we could do a couple more trips at Port Arthur, bring in some additional fuel out that way into Japan, which is quite nice. And it does help us, because we don't have the shipment coming from the Singapore area, Dutch East Indies area to Japan. That shipment is heading towards Rabaul. Yeah, you can see there we have 182,000 units of fuel. That's heading out to Rabaul. Normally it would have been heading to Japan, so obviously being able to pick up that slack by having these 70k shipments is okay. And yeah, that's alright. Can get a couple shipments out of Port Arthur, and we'll be alright then. They're moving that way. Okay. I have ships moving over here then. So these ships are going to be going ahead and picking up the 67th Naval Guard and Kure third SLF, and then they'll be moving out to the Pacific. We'll think about what to do over here. I'm kind of tempted to wait and give them that supply so they can fight effectively as a division. I think it's far better to have them fight as a unified division than to fight as well, as 3 regiments. We have them in place now. The end is just simply when we decide it is, I suppose you could say. Waiting for that supply to get there is not a bad thing. Okay. Now, it'd be interesting to see what happens here. That group is a new arrival. But I I do wonder how accurate that information is. I do wonder about that. I mean, it could have that many heavy cruisers, but we'll see. It could be simply like one of the forces we've seen before when he goes in for the bombardment, but I don't know if he's going to return to that. And Denny, he could go for that, but we'll see. Over here, not so much. Yep, so Lunga gained a size 2 port today, which is very handy. It just makes it a lot easier to have things transfer now. Kitakira is working on her own port there. That should be good. I mean, let's take a look. Forecast over here then is overcast. Oh yeah, there'll be a pain, but the thing is, there'll be a pain if he gets the islands he needs. Like, there'll be a pain out this way. But then again, saying that, he can't build Wake any larger. Wake is as large as it's ever going to get. He could maybe build that port over his, but that's not going to make a big difference. But that, like you see the 0 there, you can only build 3 above that number, maximum. So he's going to want to try and get some of these islands if he wants to go that way. He probably would be looking towards the illusions more than anything else, I'd imagine. Like, that could be a size 4 airfield at max. That could be a size 6 airfield, which is probably attractive to him. That's a, yeah, 7 there. These islands are more attractive to him, really. And we'll probably see that in the near future, really, but he may begin building those up. So I've been fortifying these islands to make sure he doesn't have anything easy over here to work with. I was at level 3, port over there at Paramashirojima. Paramashirojima is going to be quite important for us, really. It gives us a pretty solid point there to work with. It's rough terrain, which, yeah, okay. That's not the best, it's only ×2, but still it's ×2. It's better than ×1. I do have some fuel being sent out this way shortly enough as well, actually. That'd be nice. It does help us out there. We do have some radar here too, which is handy. Right, do you have a fort? That's nice. Having those guns there, pretty good. We do have 2 SNF units there. There's also the Kone first SNF. I'm gonna have to see where to move that. And I think I'll probably move these coys out, to be honest. They could do with being moved out, I'd wager. We had them moved up that way for intention to move into the Illusion Islands, and maybe we'll do that. Maybe that's why we'll keep them there, but we'll see. Very much depends. Yeah, so all in all, things are going relatively well. Oak Harbor, which is over there in the north, San Diego, 183-139. 183-139 was it? 183... 139. Round about there. Yeah, that's good information to have then. That's likely a task force there, which makes sense. We've actually seen task forces move along that line, so I'd like to get some read on that line in the future, actually. Okay. Oak Harbor is here, so he's building that up, it seems. Which, okay, that's fine. And it does lend credence to my idea. Well, I do think he'll probably make a northern push. I think that's probably where he's going to be coming. Which is why if we move into the illusions, we need to move in with the ability to actually remain there. But we are fortifying the hell out of this area. Yeah, need some engineers there, but we have troops. Okay. Well, this is it, isn't it, really? It's not all sunshine and lollipops. I mean, you do have to deal with the northern cold zone there, which does make it a little bit harder for him. We do have normal out here, so Torofu would actually be good for us to work with. That's the reason why we've put a lot of emphasis on the north, really. I mean, we are flying the G3 M3s over here. They're range 26 at this moment in time. So we do have the ability to see about halfway into the Aleutian Islands here. So we can be somewhat safe in the knowledge that there's nothing immediately here now in terms of ships. But yeah, eventually we'd like to move in and take these islands. Maybe what we want to do is just actually having the aircraft to then move in and having the actual forces to move in then afterwards. So we'll see about that. They should be moving coastal. I don't like them moving like that, so they could actually be hit like that. Silly buggers. Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, this is the benefit of having the Kidder Tide, really. Well, just in such a position where they're not out at sea miles away, in a sense. I know it sounds kind of ridiculous, but every day they've been in here, it's just a couple thousand units of fuel not having to be used for them, really. Not a couple of thousand, but you know what I mean. Over the long run, they're quite fuel hungry. You see that it takes 3,750 to fuel her. Yeah, their endurance isn't particularly fantastic. 560 BBs there. They do have 6330, so you can see where they become quite fuel hungry. And if I take a look at the Yamato, I mean, she needs, actually she's not too bad, but she needs about 6,300 units of fuel for 100%, and you don't get a lot of endurance out of that. So yep, having them in Japan does help out. It means that we're not really putting additional pressure on the fuel system. Alright, let's see. Take a look at the R&D here. Alright. So that will take up tomorrow then. Want the Jill. Definitely want the D4. Right. Yep. 30 there is good. That means she's making progress. Once these guys are finished entirely, then I'll... Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we bring it forward by a month, if that, but... we'll see. Yeah, these are due to arrive shortly enough. Go on, 83. I want that to work. It'd be great though. Once we do eventually get that one, I mean, I'm going to be talking about this probably like 2 years from now or something like that. But once it eventually gets to like a 30, that's when the magic begins. Okay. So generally things are good. Yeah, generally pretty good. How are we actually looking at that squadron? Fatigue's 15, yeah. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, this is it. It's like... I really hope he doesn't do anything, because if he doesn't do anything, then... And Denny's a size 2 airfield tomorrow, which really, really, really helps. A hell of a lot. So it is pretty interesting. There's part of me that's like, right, maybe we go for naval attack for longer and have a nix at Kira, you know, like sweep. But it's just, it'd be so much nicer to be able to do the nix sweep from Endeni. The reason being it's actually within their normal range. So it's not going to be as likely that it'll take ops losses. Or you can imagine if they're damaged, they're not having to fly the maximum range back damaged. Okay. No, overall, things are alright, actually. A decent day. And, yeah. Additional divisions. Additional artillery. They're moving that way. Eventually we'll do something there, but I'm not that concerned about it. Yeah, I'd like to get another division in here. They're making good progress. Yeah, so we'll gain the first benefit then in the next couple of days. So we'll have the first RTA event split up. An element of it will then garrison Paoshan. It's a little overkill for Paoshan, but it's not too bad. Eventually what I'd do is have like a Chinese unit moved in there to garrison that for 20. I could always actually... maybe we could fly a Chinese unit. We'd have to see about that. Doubtful. We'd probably have to buy it out, but depending on that. Yes. Right, okay, so thanks for watching there, ladies and gents. It's been a bit of a long one. I do tend to linger on some of these when there's not terribly much going on, I suppose you could say. I just like to make sure you guys get your bang for your buck, really. But as said, it probably will be a delayed turn. There's a lot to do today on the 1st of June. Oh, actually, I do wonder, has the Helen gone into production? So I didn't see the Helen now, so I think she has gone into production. Yeah, there we go. So we have the Helen in production now. Excellent news. Yeah, there we go. So we have the Key 49-2A Helen. Should see the first of those tomorrow then. Should be very nice. That's cool. Yeah, very cool. So that is our second new aircraft to go into production now, the Helen. Very good. Just need the effing Tojos. Yeah. So we'll take a quick look at the Helen there, and then we'll finish off. There we are. So this is the model bomber that we'll be switching up to. As you can see, we do have one more hex of normal radius, which helps us out. Makes her 11, which definitely does help. It carries the same amount of bombs, but she's armoured, and I believe she's faster, in fact. We're using the 2As, aren't we? So, 302, 236, durability 40. Let's see that again. 302, 236. 306, yeah. So she's a bit faster, but she's armoured, which makes a big difference. More or less the same aircraft other than that, but yeah. And there we are. So, thanks for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Next time, Johnny. Matter whenever, really. Whenever I see you next. Until next time. Thank you and goodbye. Do like and subscribe, I'm much appreciated. Subscriptions are really appreciated. A lot of people do view this content and don't subscribe. It'd be appreciated if you guys did. Would really appreciate that. Until next time, goodbye.